Hi, you guys. Let me ask you a question. What if the fastest path to calm wasn't a breathing app, a meditation retreat, or years of practice? What if it was sound? Fascinating concept, right? What if your body already knows how to relax? It just needs the right signal to get there. Today's guest has spent 10 years and every ounce of his energy figuring out exactly that. And what he found could change the way every athlete, every leader, and every person who has ever lain awake at 3 a.m. thinking too hard about everything approaches rest, he approaches recovery, and their own nervous system. So stay with me here. This one is going to open your mind. Welcome back, everybody, to Running Strong Mind Body Connection. I'm your host, Karen Bonnett-Natraj, your mental fitness and peak performance coach. I'm the founder of Mental Fitness Edge and your host for conversations that go deep on what it really actually takes to perform, recover, and live well. So today I am genuinely excited to meet my newest guest, Craig Goldberg, and his title alone will stop you in your tracks. Craig is a relaxation expert and certified vibroacoustic therapy practitioner.
Nailed it.
He is the co-founder of In Harmony Interactive, a company at the forefront of what's being called the tech-assisted meditation movement. Fascinating. This is going to be a good dive. His work is
I'm
backed by
excited.
40 years plus of research. He travels the globe teaching the science of mindfulness. And his journey, like so many of the best of our journeys, started out with ambition, but with a crisis. So, Craig, welcome to Running Strong Mind Body Connection. I'm looking forward to this conversation and where we're going to explore this. And welcome.
I'm grateful to be here. I love to run. I don't run nearly as often as I used to, but I do enjoy it. And the mind body connection, I think we got some really interesting rabbit holes to dive down on nervous system, consciousness, and physical body versus the mental mind. So I'm
And
I'm really excited for this conversation.
I am super excited for the conversation too. So, as a relaxation expert, in a
Right? What
world
is
that
that?
glorifies hustle and grinding and doing
Totally.
more. That's people I work with. All these people are stressed out. And it's just this. How do people react when you tell them what you do?
So what's really interesting, so we've been doing this for 10 years and we'll get into the business side of what we do and maybe we won't, but it's all good. And I was sitting down with our newest CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and like anybody that comes on board to our company, I talk to them about what we do. And experiencing our technology is
Mm,
it's a prerequisite, it's a requirement. And we just started talking about the power of sound, light, vibration, music, what we do, and the impact that it has on our physiology, our nervous system, our anatomy, our physiology. And stopped me dead in my tracks. And she goes, "You're an expert in relaxation, aren't you?" And it just clicked. And I was like, that's actually exactly what we do. We help the body to relax. And we do that through music, vibration, our technology, our record label, the music meditations that we create. And the science and the research that goes back now 50 years, I need to update that intro. It's the late 1970s, is
wow.
on the science of frequency and its impact on our physiology. And it's a passive, feel good way to calm and relax the nervous system from the outside in. So from the inside out, we recognize that we're stressed and anxious. We might not even recognize that we're stressed and anxious. And hopping on our technology, listening to a music meditation, and embodying that frequency and that vibration, it literally sends your body the signal it needs to go into a relaxed state to kick in the chemical cascades associated with the parasympathetic nervous system response, which is a technical term for maintenance mode in the body. And when the body is in maintenance mode, it maintains itself.
Right.
Really simple. And focused on teaching people about the power of relaxation. And to your question and to your comment, everybody I'm surrounded with is bragging about how busy they are. Right?
Right.
Right? They wear it like a badge of honor of like, how you doing? Oh, I'm busy. I got so much going on. I got how it goes. And the reality is your downtime is as important as your uptime.
Right.
And it's difficult for people to even think with these to-do lists that don't end, that just keep going regardless of how many things you chop off it. There are more things that just come on it. We all have more to do in a day than we have time to get it done. And the reality is, if you can go in and attack that task list, whatever it looks like, calm and relaxed, you're going to be able to knock through it faster and with a higher output than if you plow into that to-do list exhausted and run down. And it's not that difficult to be well rested, to relax, especially when you understand what's happening in the nervous system and when you understand what you can do to feed it to get into that relaxed state faster, deeper, for a shorter period of time with more restoration and recovery. And that, I think, is really the secret to optimizing life.
Right. I want to agree with you. I want to go back just a little bit. So, what was it in your life that got you down this path?
Oh, I
What?
was a stressed and anxious New Yorker with more to do in the day. I was right. Like, is that not a city that's built on caffeine and stimulants and chocolate and all the things that keep us going stronger, longer, further? Or
I,
so we think.
I've only been to New York once. I came out there for a conference after I ran my first 100 miler. And I remember
Nice.
looking out my window up at the top floor of this hotel I was in, and it was nothing but lights and busy. It was active 24/7. And I'm like, wow.
It's truly a city that doesn't sleep. I live in Vegas now, which has sections of it that don't sleep,
Right.
like the Strip. Seems to be a running theme in my life, but I'm 15 minutes off the Strip now, and I used to live in Manhattan where I was in the hustle and the bustle of it all. And that hustle and bustle has an energy. And in New York, there's always somebody above you, below you, to the left, to the right, around you. On the subway, you're within inches of other human beings. And as energetic beings, we are constantly picking up and interacting with other people's energetic field.
Right.
And we're reflecting back to them what they reflect to us. So if they're reflecting that hustle, that nonstop hustle, our body is picking up on that hustle, that energy, that BPM, if you will. And it's a go environment, and you feel it when you leave. You don't feel it necessarily while you're there because you're still in it. But as soon as you leave, you just feel like, oh man, it feels good to slow down.
I did that one time because I got really professional about being a part of Reiki, and because that's energy, right? And being in that Reiki energy and being in my own energy. My sister is a chaos, and I'm very sensitive to energy and picking up on it. And when I was there, I was like, felt really good about myself. It's like I didn't get caught up into it. But exactly what you just said, when I left and got in the car, I went, oh my God, I did get some of that. I could feel that. It was so
Yeah.
weird. But we are energetic beings. But what was the shift in your life? We're under all sorts of stress, but that's like a no-brainer. And that stress becomes our natural way of being and it becomes comfortable and we
Look,
don't
human
wake up to it. So what was it in you that you woke up to it thinking, hey, this is not healthy?
This is not an advertisement for what I do, but it was a sound lounge session that woke me up 10 years ago. That's my technology
Okay.
that I'm now a steward of and what my company makes. And it was getting on
Yeah.
my technology and having an experience. And I went, oh, that's what it feels like to actually relax. Oh, I miss this. It's nice.
You remembered
Um,
it from when you were a little baby.
that's my technology. This is our zero gravity recliner that's sitting behind us. We have 7 different products that focus on vibroacoustic therapy, vibration and sound therapy. And it's simply a delivery system for sound and music to the body. So there's tactile transducers, fancy word for half of a speaker, that think of it like a big subwoofer that's built up and down this entire thing. And the whole bed vibrates, and your body, just like you, come into harmonic resonance with the vibration of New York City and the vibration of your sister and what she's going through. You come into harmonic resonance with the vibration of the bed with our music meditations, and they're designed to calm and relax. Some of them are designed to stimulate and elevate, but most of them are really focused on relaxation, deep relaxation. And 10 years ago, November, I had my first sound lounge session, and I felt what deep relaxation really felt like. Years prior to that, I had that same feeling at a sound bath with the acoustic instruments, bells, chimes, the didgeridoo, hand pans, the gong, right? These acoustic instruments that make frequency and reflect that towards our body. and I wanted it on tap. So I tried to actually create what we do and failed. I was using the wrong technology. I didn't know about tactile transducers. I didn't know about vibroacoustic therapy. And I laid down on the sound lounge and I pushed play and I laid back with my eyes closed, listening to these incredible vibrations and feeling them. And again, not understanding anything about the technology, I drifted off into a dream state, came back, felt revived, rejuvenated, fantastic. I'd been gone. I'd been on the bed for 20 minutes, but I felt like I slept a full night. And I was just ready to rock and roll. And I went, ooh, I need more of that. Let's do that again. To your point, just before, you only know what, and your body, which is resilient, acclimates to the energy in which it is and the pace it is presented with and needs to for whatever reason, right? Usually we're that go-getter, A-type, I'm getting after it, that hustle, because we have a goal that we're passionate about and a mission that we want to see through. And we don't realize that we're just probably do around, when I'm sitting at this desk, it's still at 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, go to bed, Craig. And I'm like, but I just got a couple more things I want to do. You recognize, like, my goal is to be in bed by 10 p.m. every night. Sometimes I'm in bed at 8. Sometimes I'm in bed at midnight. But it's a goal. And when I start recognizing that I'm probably burning that midnight oil a little bit too much, it's usually time for me to check out the tech, or at least tap out and sleep and rest and rejuvenate and recover.
Right. You mentioned the level of relaxation in the brain. When we get into theta is when things happen.
Sure.
And I'm not so into the science, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this, and I do follow him,
He's
and
great.
it absolutely is. But when we can tap into that, is where we expand, where our potential is, where our curiosity is, where our imagination is, and living that out. Because when we're not, and we're living in that day to day high stress frequency, it wears on the body, and the body is resilient.
Indeed.
It will perform as from whatever your thoughts are, whatever your beliefs are, and it will perform because it wants to survive. And one thing with all the running that I do was my first curiosity of how far can I go?
The runner's high.
But
It's
how far can I go? And then the ability for my body to recover and do it again.
Isn't that fun? I ran the Ragnar relay race twice.
Oh,
You familiar with the
nice.
Ragnar? It's a 200-mile relay race. It's just absolutely. You want to talk about a test in recovery? You're
Right.
running, you're running 2 to 8 miles depending on your leg, and then you're getting in a van, and
Yeah.
like that's your recovery time is like in a van sitting. We set it up so that we could lay down and at least somebody could stretch, but like no warm up. You're just literally getting out of the van and you're getting tagged into this relay race and you're picking somebody up and you've got to get to the next drop off point. Anyway, I did it twice and it was an exercise in recovery and what my body was capable of, running 3 legs in 30 hours or 32 hours. I forget how long it took us to finish this relay race, but it was absolutely bananas. Look, you mentioned Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe is great, absolutely incredible. When you're immersed in his retreats, you are in that energy, and that is the energy that is reflecting on you. It's really easy for most people to drop into these different brainwave states. Just to put us all on the same page without getting too sciencey, the beta brainwave is predominant in the brain when your eyes are open and you're processing the world around you. It's the most
Right.
stimuli to the brain. Just below that is alpha, just below that is theta, just below that is is delta, and above beta is gamma. And these are the 5 main brainwave states. There are others. And you can test through an EEG, which is a swim cap with 12 or 13 or 19 dots on it that test how fast the synapses in the brain are firing for different parts of the brain that we know control different aspects of the human experience. Motor skills, language, right? Short-term memory, long-term memory, those sorts of things. And we can see on EEG when the predominant brainwave state is alpha, theta, delta, gamma, beta, that thing. And we've got some pretty robust tools that are at a consumer level and are at a practitioner level that we do this in our technology to validate what we're doing. And investing in one of Joe's retreats is a great idea. I highly recommend it. I know tons of people that have done it. He is a force of nature, no doubt, and his knowledge and his expertise is phenomenal. when you talk to people about meditation, and we did at In Harmony, that was largely our slogan for a long time, was say goodbye to the distracted mind, say hello to a relaxed existence. And it was the power of sound, vibration, and light to help you meditate. And that is a catalyzing word for a lot of people. They're like, I can't meditate. And for the folks that feel like they can't meditate, everybody can meditate. But when the monkey mind just won't quit, when you're stuck in that beta brainwave, it's very powerful to guide the brain in. And music, vibration, sound, because of how it stimulates the nervous system, will guide you into that meditative state very quickly, very passively, and it feels good. Like just before you're in that meditative state, that theta, that alpha. And a quote that I'm reminded of, I think it's mine. I don't remember hearing it from anybody else, but sleep and meditation is nothing more than a conscious perception of a slower brainwave state. So the difference between sleep and meditation is minute. They're almost the same brainwave experience for the brain. Like when Karen lays down to go to bed at night, your perception of what's happening is you're sleeping, but your brain isn't sleeping. Your autonomic nervous system is still working. You're still breathing. Your heart's still going. And more importantly, as you drift from beta into alpha, into theta, into delta, your brain is doing different things to cleanse, clear, clean up, organize, restore, regenerate, and bring yourself back to a baseline so that you can charge the next day. It's why sleep and meditation are really important practices. And if you're not going to meditate, at least you're sleeping. And if you can't sleep, at least maybe you're meditating. But when you're not doing both, that you're not operating at your highest capacity.
Right.
And sound, music, vibration, it's magic on the mind. Literally putting on headphones and listening to music that you love, closing your eyes, your brain will drift into an alpha brainwave state, a theta brainwave state, a delta brainwave state very quickly. And it's profound, the impact that sound, vibration, and light has on the brain. We are light beings. And everything around us is vibration.
It is, and we don't think about that, and that equals into that frequency that we're resonating at. We're usually resonating at a very low frequency or is it low or high when we're sitting down in that apathy and stress and overwhelm and frustration and all that. Another person is Dave Hawkins and talking about energy. And the most people are at the lowest part of energy based on the stress levels that we're sitting at. And I could not even imagine living in New York City and picking up on all that energy and that.
It's so good. I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. Like I had my time there and it was awesome. I'll never do it again. Look, everything is energy, okay? And I'm sure you've said this before and I'll reinforce it. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. Right. And when I was living in New York and for my younger years, I thought it was the other way around. I thought we were human beings and I was exploring this spiritual experience that I was having, and it's the other way around. Emotions is energy in motion. Yes. And we feel, and those emotions that we feel, which by the way is why we're here. It's why we're having the human experience, is to feel those emotions through a physical body, because as energetic bodies, we don't feel. We are part of the oneness. We feel everything and nothing all at once. That energy in motion, those emotions, they have a vibration. And the slower emotions that David's talking about is sadness, is regret, is remorse, is, right, those stress, anxiety. These are low vibration emotions that are part of the human experience. And then we have on the other side of the spectrum, the highest or the higher end of the spectrum, love, gratitude, unconditional love, which we thought was the highest vibration for the longest time. The highest vibration is authenticity. And this was discovered through a science and research study not too long ago, where they thought they were studying one thing, and they found when their subjects were being authentic, when they were resonating with how they truly feel, their energetics went through the roof, like far higher than anything they'd ever measured with any other emotion that's being felt. And who knows if you're being authentic? Only
we know that.
Only if you're being authentic. I don't know what your morals are. Right. I know what our shared morals are, but I don't know what your morals are. And I don't know if you're truly speaking your truth. And when somebody is truly speaking their truth, that's when we start to see passion. That's when we start to feel the vibration of like, oh, this is somebody I want to spend my time with. This is somebody who I want to listen to. I want to be around. I want to embody what they're sharing. And it's that authenticity that holds that highest vibration, that highest emotion, energy in motion. Really powerful stuff.
And I love that. And that's such a gift of being human. It's a huge gift that we don't look at. And if I can look at, I have a cat laying behind this computer that we're doing this Zoom call on sleeping.
Nice.
And if I stepped on his tail, he would scream for a minute, run off, but come back and get loved and be happy. No
Mm,
judgment, no judgment. We sit in that energy of judgment because we are righteous and we are this or that, or we are do something or something. But if we go up into the level of that gratitude, I love Joe Dispenza's. he, he's a little smaller than my cat.
he's a 4 pound teacup Yorkie. His name is Zion.
Nice. My other cat is big and brutally. These are part Maine Coon cats, and they're just super lovable. But sometimes they decide to walk across my calls, and they're active. And right
Perfect.
now, he's sleeping behind this.
Look, it's perfect. I'm a dog. Obviously, I'm a dog guy, not a cat guy, but dog backwards, God, for a
That's
reason,
true.
right? To show us that unconditional love, and cats do it
Unconditional
too.
love.
Not all
This
cats do it. Not
no,
all. Not all cats do it.
no.
Your cats do it, but not all
My
cats.
cats do. They come down and they greet me at the door, and they're loving a mom. But I agree with you 100% because if you're gone all afternoon, you come in, the dog's going to greet you and give you 100% unconditional love. And just look in their eyes and so experiencing that. Why are we using a dog to do that? That's what we are, have the ability to show up for other human beings at pure unconditional love.
So, can I drop like some consciousness stuff that I don't usually talk about? And again, I'm not sure your viewpoint, and this is not a religious statement in any way, shape, or form, but as spiritual beings having this human experience, we are
Hmm.
all cut, in my experience, we are all cut from the same cloth. We are all cut from the same spirit and that same spiritual energy. That same godly energy, again, not a religious statement in any way, shape, or form. God lives within all of us. And that energy that these dogs reflect back to us, that unconditional love, when you start to realize that every single human being that you interact with, every single one, from your parents to your kids to your friends to your enemies, are all cut from that same energetic cloth. The oneness is oneness. We are all one. It doesn't matter if you're Buddhist or Jewish or Catholic or Protestant or Muslim or atheist. We're all cut from that same. The human beings living in Ukraine and the human beings living in Russia, the human beings living in Iran and the human beings living in Israel. They're all cut from the same cloth. And here in this earth plane and this physical experience that we're having, we feel like enemies. But to your point, it's all love. Now, I think it'd be very difficult to have that conversation. There you go. Hey, buddy. It'd be difficult to have that conversation with somebody in the 3D that's in the middle of that level
Right.
of discord, but I
I
think about it
I
often.
I want to comment on that, and we don't really need to dive deep into this. Is I never really understood that. It's like how can, but that's we're looking at that humanness,
It's the
and
human
when
filter that we look through.
exactly, and when I read Joe Dispenza's book, he brings it down to the cellular level. And it's down into the depths of our soul that that's all the same. And they prove it through science. And I love the fact that how many scientists have gone spiritual and how many doctors have gone homeopathic and how we can go back into the nature of this oneness. And
Energetics.
now
Yeah.
it isn't limited to just me and you. It's expansive to the trees and the energy in the earth. And why do I trail run? And why do I stop and listen to the trees and the birds and everything around and feel the energy of Mother Earth? I invite everybody to go outside and barefoot and just stand there and feel the energy of Mother Earth
There's
coming through
science,
you.
but there's science behind that. There's an energetic
Right.
exchange in the grounding, like a grounding rod. Your feet
Exactly.
need to be on the earth. Hug a tree. It's a very real thing. My
Yeah.
6-year-old, literally, when we go to someplace, I live in Vegas. There aren't many trees around here that you want to hug that aren't prickly and pokey. But when we go to a forest, my daughter will literally be like, Dad, stop the car. I want to hug that tree. And who am I to say no to that? I'm like, no
Right?
problem. Hop out. And she'll literally just like hug a tree and look up at it. It's
There's
it.
children's books that talk about that, but listen to the reality of that for ourselves. And I did that one time. We're here in Auburn, California, and we have nothing but the trees and the nature and whatnot. We were running up in Tahoe area, I believe,
Tahoe has
along the Western
magnificent
States
trees.
Trail, and I ran down this one trail, and it was like this tree was talking to me, and I just stood next to it. I just put my body up against it and just felt the energy of that tree. And it was pretty cool.
Look, that their root network and the mycelium network, which they say spans the globe. There's so much that we have yet to understand, and yet so much that even in my lifetime we have documented and proven through science research as we get better and better
Right.
equipment that can measure it and it's scientifically validated. And this is the stuff that really lights me up. When you
Yeah.
start to think about I'm a human having a human experience, you're a human having a human experience, and the knowledge transfer that we just didn't have available to us. Like,
Right.
I remember when I was a kid, my parents, I had a very beautiful childhood, and I remember when my parents brought home our first encyclopedia. It wasn't the Britannica, it was a different encyclopedia, and I remember inviting my friends over and bragging to them like, "What do you want to learn about? Like, pick a topic, any topic. This is all of the known knowledge in the universe, like an encyclopedia, right?" Like, and now forget about ChatGPT and the internet and like these learning models, and like we have so much more. I sit with my daughter and I'm like, she came in last night with a ladybug on her finger and she wanted to put it in a box and hold on to it. Can I take it to school tomorrow? I'm like, no, you can't take it to school tomorrow. You're going to put it outside. And if it's still in the box in the morning, maybe you can take it to school. Like, no, we got to let that fly and be. But we were sitting there learning, talking to ChatGPT about ladybugs. And we have this knowledge base at our fingertips today that we just did not have. And we have this
Right.
knowledge
That's
transfer
true.
that's available to us that we just never had. And if you use it to learn and educate yourself and create and build, it's a really beautiful tool chest that we have available to us today.
And stepping into your own authentic self to
And
do that.
figuring out what that is, right? Like think about how many people don't even have enough time to figure out what that's all about because they're tied to a desk, a job they hate, a boss they can't stand,
And believe
right?
they have to do that so they can retire. And then when they retire, they're dead in 5 years.
Only to find out that retirement is a sham, especially here, and pensions don't exist, and retirement and inflation and blah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, enlighten me more on your bed, your product. Is this something that people come to? Do you sell this stuff as
I'm the
passable?
manufacturer. So my company is In Harmony Interactive. I hope we can mention the website, and I'm a direct to consumer brand. So about 50% of our clients are businesses, wellness centers, med spas, recovery and alcohol addiction spaces, athletes, athletic organizations, meditation, massage therapists, acupuncture, acupressure, chiropractor. The list goes on and on. And the other 50% of our clients are individuals that want to bring it home, that want it in their house so that them and their families can use it. They and their families can use it. And I'm the manufacturer. So I don't own retail locations. I have no interest in owning a retail location, but many of our clients own retail locations and do sell sessions, packages, that thing. And I want to be really good at manufacturing